everybody, it's Tina here from Hummingbird Tales. I hope you're all well. This is my design team project for ArtyMaze for August. But as you know, my dad's been unwell and I caught the lurgy, so this has been a little bit of a delay, but never mind, we're there now. So what this journal is what I call my woodland fairy journal. Sorry, my woodland fairy mushroom journal. Bit of a mouthful. And the kits I've used for this, for ArtyMaze, is I've used her mushroom and her fern kit. Sorry, my mind went blank then. Her flower girl kit, parts of that, and also a sheet of her butterfly wings. So what I've basically done is I've created a 4x4 little square binder journal. This was never planned to be like this. It was going to be a very thin journal and was going to be embellished with just inks and stamps, but this turned into something else. And you know what it's like with journals, they create themselves. And so I've got rings in them. I think the rings need to be bigger because it's quite wide on the side, but look at all that fluffy loveliness. And what we did to make the pages, I got together with Andrea and Janet one afternoon and we were layering up papers with glue, and then we were using different types of ink, acrylic ink, quite watery acrylic ink, and we were just painting and splattering and, you know, just having some fun on paper. Then we dried them out, then we cut them down to the size that we wanted our journals, and I just wanted to make a square one. And then we used stamps. And I was actually going to use stamps just to embellish this and put a few quotes in to make it more of an arty sort of inky journal. But like I said, it took on a life of its own. So it's now my design team project. So what I've used on the front here, just peel that little bit off. Actually, we'll start on the side. I've tied some of this seam binding and black tulle to the rings. And I've also made a little dangly beaded charm. If I can just find the beads for you. These beads I bought when I went to the recent craft show with Andrea and Janet of ArtyMaze and Janet Hicks, and so I made the colours were just perfect, so I made up a little charm to go on the rings. So basically this whole journal is about, for me, going into the woods just before dark, and the animals are coming out, the fairies are coming out, and that is basically the theme of this journal. So on the front cover, I've put the word journal, which is also one of Andrea's printouts. The background paper is from her fern kit. The animals, some of them I've cut out from an old book that I've had, so I think that's where I got them. But everything's been fussy cut out, like the little flower girl, and layered about 2 or 3 times on card so that it makes everything thick and sturdy. So there was an awful lot of fussy cutting done in this little gem. Anyway, so with the tree, so I've got bark and some lichen that I found in my woods down the road. I've used moss to make up the tree sort of leaves. And then I've got all of these little gems, and I've put these throughout the whole book. Some of them are like crystals, like these, and some of them are blue, because I wanted them to represent like fairy lights. So that's the front cover, and as you can see, this is Poppy Flower Girl, and I've used the wings from the butterfly to give her her wings. So that's the front cover. So inside here we've got a tuck spot area. I also put journal here. Again, fibre, all the little beads. This is one of the cut-out mushroom, well, it's a triple mushroom, but it's a cutout that you cut out from a sheet of paper, and you can see that that is quite firm because it's been layered on 2 or 3 pieces of card. So here, this is a bit fiddly for me, but I've got 3 of the mushroom and fern journaling cards that I've just put together with this little brad. Like I said, everything was shrunk down. That's a little oh, can you hear that fly buzzing around? That's a butterfly that I've sort of made look like he's got his wings folded up, but of course that would be on the inside, but never mind, I quite like it. Here we've got a little journaling tag. I've cut all these circles out because I haven't got a punch this size, and it was just too much of a faff to get my die cutting machine out. But I've used journaling cards and background papers, or pages I should say, from the mushroom kit. So that fits in there. And then right at the top here is a tag, which has been layered up with the seam binding and the fabric. It's one of the fern ones. And the quote on this one says, "The most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or touched. They are felt with the heart." So I have put quotes throughout all of this. There's not a lot of writing room. So this is page 2, and here again I have a mushroom in the background. This is the Dog Rose Flower Girl, but I've Dog Rose Fairy, and she is a tuck spot for this little teeny weeny envelope, which again is one of the ones from the kit that I've shrunk down. And I've basically taken a piece of coffee dyed paper, lined paper I should say. I think this might have been one of Andrea's pages, and just done some stamping and stuck a cutout of mushrooms on there. So you've got plenty of room to journal apparently. Here we go. This then flips out, and on this side here we've got a pocket, and in the pocket is a tag. This tag comes from the Flower Girl kit, and the quote says, "Adopt the pace of nature, her secret is patience." So that goes in there. And then down here we've got this little bit of tulle that actually flips up, and hiding there is a little hedgehog with a couple of the cut out mushrooms and some background paper to make a little hideaway there for him. So on this side here we've got again layered up mushrooms. I've got paper flowers and trim, eyelash trim. There's a hinge here, so that flips up. Let's bring this down. And again I've got some of this trim, a couple gems, and here are some bits of paper so that there is a place to write within this journal. Down here, where that flips up there, we've got a pocket, and that is made out of lace. Can you see? Made out of lace, and I've cut out a little fern and put a brad in, or an eyelet in, and hung it there. And here we've got some more of the eyelash trim, the little blue gems, and the seam binding. And in this pocket I've used the CD cards that Andrea puts in these kits, and I shrunk them down and created this little booklet just like that. And the inside again, this has been made with the same paper that I used for the actual pages of the book, and the similar sort of stamping. And we have another journaling tag from the fern kit, and this one says, "To walk in nature is to witness 1,000 miracles." Isn't that the truth? So that closes up like that and over the page. So on this side we've got, again I've used part of the page of the fern kit. I've cut out one of the tiny weeny butterflies that I shrunk down, because I actually printed it out, shrunk down as well, the page of butterflies. And I've layered up all of this. You can't see them maybe on camera, but hidden in amongst the grass, as I like to call it, are some gems. And we have one of the cut out triple mushrooms here, and in behind we've got a little round circular tag that's as round as I could get it by hand cutting it. And we have a little bunny hiding away. We had to have a bunny in here somewhere, didn't we? So he's hiding in amongst there. And this page here looks a bit confusing, so if I put my hand here and just move it forward, this is a flip up, and on this flip up I've got an owl, and he's sat in a tree, and this tree is made from bits of it's like a wood, a craft wood. I'll just see if I've got it close to hand. Oh yes, I have, look. This is what it is. I have no idea where I picked this up from, some sort of crafty stall. But I've used it when I was doing my floristry, and I had a load of it left, so I kept it. And so I built up this tree and used some of the ribbony trim of the leaf trim that everybody uses, and cut the leaves off. Lots of gems stuck around. We've got a metal dragonfly up here, and we've got one of the little flower girls made into a fairy looking up at her owl holding a flower. This flips up. And then up here we've got one of the little pockets from the kit, and up the top I've used one of the little stamps, and this says, "Go where your feet feel most alive." And then underneath here we've got another little scene with a round tag, another mushroom tag, nice and blank to write on. And again, I've used one of the flower girls and mushrooms, and I've layered them, so these are stuck down. There's a bit of one of the butterflies that I fussy cut out, so that makes a handy little tuck spot for that. And over we go again. So on this side we've made a little book. I got this idea from Heidi when she sent me my big vintage journal that I've shown a video of recently, and she got this from Wendy, from Wendy's Journal Adventures, and it was a way to make a little booklet that you could put onto a ring binder, so it is actually like one of the pages. So this is a decoupage rabbit, one of the mushrooms, one of the butterflies, some of the leaf trim, some flowers, some gems, and that just opens, and I've put a mushroom on the inside, or layered up a couple mushrooms, and then here we've just got some mossy green paper to write on. That's been hand sewn in. There's the centre of the signature, and then we've got a couple mushrooms here, and in the back we've got another journaling card, which is from the mushroom kit, and this says, "I close my eyes, reach for the stars, and adventure to wherever I desire." And then on this side here, we've got a flip up, flip down. I've actually got some of the black tulle just, you know, flopping over the front here with a couple of the butterflies, and that lifts up like this. This is one of the CD cards that I've just put on some of the backing paper. Again, I wanted it to look like grass and fairy lights in the grass. And this is a flip out, and we've got paper here, so there's plenty of writing space. There's another tag here. Oh, that one says, "The earth has music for those who will listen." So there's writing space here, and then just a little scene here with some mushrooms and butterflies and more writing space. All right, let's turn that over. Okay, so on this page, another little scene where I've layered up the mushrooms to make tuck spots. This is the little chrysanthemum fairy or flower girl from Andrea's kit. I've given her these wings from one of the butterflies and just painted some glitter on there. And in the top here we've got another tag, one of the mushroom journaling cards, and on the back it says, "Fairy tales and secret doors are not only meant for children, always stay curious." And up here we've got another little butterfly, and then in behind the mushroom we've got this little round tag that I've made. I can't remember if that was made from a journaling card or a bit of background paper. And then in behind here, hiding, which I like to put in my nature journals, is a little squirrel, and he's very thickly backed on card, so he's not going to bend or anything. He can go in there. And on this page here we've got a tag. Now I need to just have a fiddle. Yeah, we've got a tag up here, another mushroom journaling card, and this one says, "And into the forest I go to lose my mind and find my soul." And I actually got that from one of Jenny Miller's little journals that I've got. And this is a brad with a little bird on. I thought the colour went perfectly, and with it being nature. And we have a little pocket here, and in that we've got a little tiny tag. I haven't put anything on that. I thought I ought to leave some writing area in this journal. And then there's a little tag here. And these are tags from the fern and mushroom kit, and that's Poppy Fairy. So we're nearly at the end. So on this page we've got layered mushrooms again, with a little bunny sat here, moss, and you know, all different eyelash trims and the little gems. And then hiding in here is this lovely stag. Again, he's made very thick with lots of card layered up. And in the back is one of the tags from the kit. And this says, "Blessed are the curious, for they shall have adventures." This says "Free as the wind," and that was also cut out from, I think it was the Flower Girl kit. So he's there. Then this flips out. Okay, and on this side here we have got more mushrooms layered up. This is the spindleberry fairy or flower girl with her wings, and in behind there we've got a little wooden cardboard fox or cardstock fox and another tag again from the kit, and this one says nature is not just a place, or nature is not a place, it is home. So that goes there. So we'll tuck him back in there to hide from the fairy. And then on this page I've used, again, let's move it up, I've used some of this grassy like eyelash trim with the gems, and this is a part of the tool, and I've used it to come down to make this layered little hideaway look. There's some leaf trim up here, and if you lift that up you've got the blackberry fairy hiding there, a bit of paper there, and in behind her is another fern tag. Now this was actually made out of the washi tape that comes in the kit, so I just cut a piece of that off to make a long skinny tag. And there's another journaling card here with mushrooms, and I've put one of the butterflies on, and this says let your feet wander, your eyes marvel, and your soul ignite. So that goes in there. So we're nearly at the end, and on the last page here I've made a tree with this wooden stuff again, made it all 3D. It's got bits of the green grassy sort of eyelash trim to make the leaves. I've got the gems on there, and we've got this little thrush bird sat up in the branches, and down here we've got some mushrooms with a butterfly again, and in here we've got hiding a little tiny envelope, and I've put another little bunny there hiding away. So in this envelope, again, it's been shrunk down. I've just used some of Andrea's background papers, and this was for the mushroom and fern kit. So there's a spot to write on. Goes back in there. Whoopsie daisy. So that just slides back in there. And then over this side, in this little hidden spot, is one of the ferns that I've cut out and backed on card. So that slots in there. You can write on the back of that. And then another one of the little fairies, and she's backed so that you can write on the back of her. You won't be able to write a lot, but you might be able to write something. And then in the very back we've got 2 tags again from the kit, and I've left them blank. So we are nearly at the end. On the back page I actually did keep that quite blank because I wanted to see some of the paper that I created, because a lot of it has been covered up inside. And again, this is one of the CD cards that Andrea makes that I've shrunk down. So there we go. That is it. That is my ArtyMaze August journal DT project. And it's been quite a challenge because there's a lot of things here I've not done before, but I've really enjoyed making it, and I hope it's given you some inspiration to try some different things. Anyway, take care everybody, and I will be back very soon with another video. Bye for now.